Okay, now you have heard the conversation between me and Emmanuel Cleaver, concerning my issues and things around up over here. And for one thing, I'm asking American peoples to probably download this ASAP, because the information that I will provide to you all concerning my own personal experience, that I believe that the public and American peoples have the right to know, and as far as I'm concerned, you do. And I believe the Lord got me doing this and putting this in my heart to share this with you all, and so I feel also that I have a moral obligation to share this with you all. Now, my concern also, our Congressman Emmanuel Cleaver, too, he is both our congressman and our 5th district representative. Now, my issue and concern that I have been repeatedly bringing this to his attention and to his office attention, and previously we had a conversation, him and I, with his full consent of knowing that he's been recorded, and he stated there's nothing that he can do or Congress could do, dealing and involving with the 3 separations of power and so forth. My biggest concern is that as my 5th district representative, and something that is as major as civil rights being violated through our judicial court system, and of which in this cause of action General Mills is behind, and I definitely prove that as well because the courts already have this information, is, I have a letter here from Emmanuel Cleaver, himself, stating about, what he's not able to do or so forth, and I just want to read and bring this to the American people's attention here and the public here. And he stated here, "Dear Robert, thank you for contacting my office regarding your legal issues. While I understand your concerns as a member of Congress, as previously stated, I am constitutionally prohibited from assisting you due to the separations of power, doctrine, and the need for impartiality within our court system. If you should desire to abstain private counsel or following the 2 phone numbers, and that may be happening." They gave me the Bar Association and the Legal Aid Association and which have you. "And as previously stated, I regret that I am unable to intervene in this matter. But if I can be of any assistance in any matter relating to federal agencies or legislations, please feel free to contact me." Well, we know that involving here with the federal courts and things around up over here, and especially since I'm not able to get apparently no attorneys or whichever, because obviously it had even been stated to me way back in 2003 by the opposing counselor, and he stated to me as well as to the judge over in the Wyandotte, stating that Mr. Dupree is not going to be able to get no attorney to assist him in any of this matter regarding his issues here. And my complaint about that's during the time when I was complaining and filing suit against my former attorney. It was Jeffrey A. Sutton at the time, and who was the attorney of record of the Barnett and Jamison law firm, concerning the settlement of full release fraud and deceit. That was, he had stated, we're not going to be able to get no attorney and so forth. But however, from that point, this has still constantly been an ongoing battle all the way up until now, and to the latest here involving with this judge, Gary A. Finger, when I had to file suit against Lamar's advertising. Now, getting back over here on the congressman here, I want to stay focused on with him at this moment, then I touch bases on these others. How that, he's alleging that he's not able to assist me in this matter around up over here, and what makes it really frustrating about, I have some did a little research here, and I looked at some of the deals here concerning Congress, and some of their role in things here, and it has down here, some of the information I looked up concerning with Congress, what is a constituent casework. And living and being in the 5th district, I am definitely his constituent, because he is my congressman who's supposed to be representing me in whatever way he can to assist in this matter. And what it says here, in congressional office, the term casework refers to the response or service that members of Congress provides to constituents who request assistance And each year, thousands of constituents turn to members of Congress with a wide range of requests, from the simple to the complex. And and what makes it so, I guess, bombard to me on this here matter, it is Congress who had made and paved a way for anyone to file a complaint against a federal judge. Congress had paved and made a way that anyone can file a complaint against a federal judge for judicial misconduct. Not just because it was a ruling that we felt that, oh, well, I felt that his ruling wasn't fair, and, and I'm just hollering and making a noise and complaining about it. No, we ain't talking about that. We're talking about blatant judicial misconduct, just like this Judge Gary A. Fenner had done. Not only in the previous lawsuit, when he was residing over the General Mills and the union and my former attorney, Jeffrey Sutton and him, but here even in this new lawsuit here from 2015 to 2018 here with Lamar's advertising. I still had to file a complaint against him. And what was the judicial misconduct? Back in 2010 when he was over there, he lied, he withheld information from sending documents and things up to the higher up court, which is required for him to do so. He refused to do it. I made this all known to the judicial court system up here in the Court of Appeal. And perpetually I've been denied, and the case been denied and dismissed. And my complaint has just been overruled and dismissed. Not only that, even when I had requested that all documents be sent, now we're talking about here back in 2010 and 2011 here. Now I get back over here in 2015 a few. He refused, this Judge, Gary A. Fenner, he refused to put all documents on a civil docket sheet and send up to the Court of Appeal. And a lot of that, exhibit books and everything, that is strong, relevant information to bring out evidence against General Mills, the union, and all the rest of them in this lawsuit. Now, the major conflict of interest is in this new lawsuit. They have allowed, and I say they, he himself and the courts have allowed this same Judge Gary A. Fenner to be on this new lawsuit against Lamar's advertising in him, and putting this same judge on this case. And the new lawsuit still involves old entities involving with General Mills, other than new defendants that I have, which is Lamar's and advertising, and the opposing counsel, him, Kevin A. Mason, and them round up over here, who's attorney of record of the law firm, the White Ghost, law firm. And how that this judge, he refused to recuse and get himself off. The courts refused. And there it is again. I have complained and gave laws and things repeatedly about this judge. 28 U.S.C. 455 requiring that a judge should not be on this case here because of impartiality, or even if there's a possible impartiality about his conduct or character and things, that is in judicial misconduct or out of place in regarding the laws and things about his behavior, or been biased, or anyway, of whatever the sort may be. He refused to get off. And so I repeatedly brought this to Congressman's attention, to his office, over and over, gave him documents and things after documents, when we was actually, when I was in court, before the courts decided to strike my motions and things with a mandate. Touch on that too. Congressman, he alleged there's nothing he can do. But as a 5th District representative, I know, since Congress is the one who have paved the way and made laws that anyone can file a complaint against a federal judge, well, certainly, I know he was able to speak or say something to someone in Congress around. He said, well, there's nothing he can do about whatever it is, so it's just, that's just the way it is, and, he regret, and what you heard the letter here that I done just read here. Well, as a 5th District representative, I'm pretty sure, and I believe that there should be a lot more than just alleging and talking about what he can't do. So anyway, back to my point that I wanted to bring out. I brought this here also to the office of the congressional ethical attention, which is more or less a complaint that I have made regarding to Congressman's reactions and his response in this matter around up over here. And so what they told me is that, well, if they find any findings they can't admit to it, or they can't, you know, admit, or even if they can't even deny it. They can't admit to it if there's any findings of any fault or whatever it is, and if it's not, well, they can't even admit to it. So in other words, just like, oh well, everything is confidential. Now this is the Office of Congressional Ethics, you know, where if you have any concerns or complaints against one of the members of Congress, you can inform them about such, which I did. So here it is. So nevertheless, you know, we'll just, you know, see what's what. And everyone out here is aware of this here. And like I said, my main big concern is not just about me, myself, and I. Is if the courts and corporations and things, and certain judges and certain lawyers down there, then all judges is not bad, and I know, and I can prove that for a fact. No, they ain't. There's darn good judges. I just be glad when the good Lord blesses me to have one that will be able to stay on the case and do what a good judge should do, and that is complying to the law. So, however, my point is that still back with the congressman around up over here as the 5th district representative. Congress is the one who made laws and things around up here that anyone can file a complaint against a federal judge. Well, it seemed like there would be something that he can address to the congressional committees, or those who are involved in making these laws and things. Now, I'm not looking for Congressman Emmanuel Cleaver to get into the courts and represent me as my attorney. Well, I can understand that. But as my 5th district representative, I believe that there's something more he can do other than saying about what he can't do, because of the 3 separations of power. You know. So nevertheless, as my 5th representative, and there was a form that I had also filled out, you know, they call the privacy form. You know, that you can fill out of any issues and complaints or concerns and things, and I definitely done that several times, you know, and explaining my issues with the courts and with General Mills, and this latest here with this Judge Gary A. Fenner, you know, and, you know, the conclusion of it is, well, folks talking about what they can't do, you know. Well, the 5th district representative, you know, what's up with that? So anyway, I just wanted to still bring this to the light and let folks be aware of, other than just keeping everything hush-hush and confidential and quiet and swept under the rug. I don't want this to be a hidden figures. You know, I want my experience to be known. Because like I said, there's others out here who no doubt are experiencing the same thing, or even worse. And if this type of injustice or whatever it is going on behind the walls of the courts, and this cause of action definitely is, you know, well, it need to be brought to someone's attention, that someone can at least be aware of and do something about this. Or just, you know, I guess it's just the way it is. But nevertheless, through the grace of God, I will continue to make a stand for my rights and bring this injustice to the light, and still seek to bring this out to let people be aware of what's happening behind the scenes of the walls of the courts and things around here in this cause of action.